Man, oh man, I cannot even believe. Can you guys already believe that it's February 1st tomorrow? Like, can you imagine February 1st tomorrow? Stephanie, can you imagine February 1st tomorrow? What? Are you kidding me?
Now that
This
we have a
is
little bit of a tan since we went to Tampa, it's okay.
exactly right. Exactly. Cool, cool. Hey, Scott, are you going to be in for the whole roundup tonight, roundtable tonight, buddy?
Yeah, it should be.
Can I ask you to be
I,
co-host with me and just let people in if they're rocking in on Zoom with us, bro?
yes, sir.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Cool. Well, now that everybody's tanned after Tampa and wherever you are on planet Earth, we are getting ready to kick this thing off. It is January 31st, 2024. And we're going to get hot in here tonight, that's for sure. We're going to get straight into some meat and potatoes. But before we do, let's go ahead and take a look down at the very bottom. You've got reactions. Feel free to click that reactions button, send thumbs up, hands up, whatever you desire. Send those emojis along. Also, that chat window. Please, please, please don't underuse the chat. The chat is designed for you guys to engage. You guys have questions, pop it in there. You've got all kinds of great people on here, work together and help to build your future. And so use that chat. And then, of course, down at the very bottom of your window, you will see there's a name. And some of you have actually put your name in and your email address. I ask that everybody does that because I know that there's going to be people that will want to connect with you and potentially network. I've watched people. I just got another message right now, $56,000 job that was just sent to somebody else across the country that is a part of our community. And so I want you guys to know that the network is extremely strong. We're doing group buy programs. Everybody's collaborating. There's all kinds of opportunity to be able to ultimately win together, right? Who here wants to be more profitable this year than they were last year? All right, cool. So do I. So in order to be more profitable, you need to make sure that you're keeping your costs nice and low and that you're pricing your jobs at a price point that makes sense so that you ultimately end up with the net profit that you desire. Remember the formula, everyone. Does anybody remember the formula? V equals what? Anyone? Come on. V equals. Write
Risk
this
over
down.
revenue.
Say it again.
Value equals risk
Equals
over predictable revenue.
income.
So if you're doing that, then you're building enterprise value with your company. And I'm going to repeat that over and over and over again until finally everybody's like, yeah, V equals R over P for sure. That's the way we roll because that's the way we're building our business, right? You guys want to keep your risks low? Let me ask you, do you think that risks are high if you go and buy $25,000 worth of crack sealer and you sit it in a garage right now? Do you think that that risk is high for you? Raise your hand if you think the risk is high if you buy $25,000 worth of crack sealer and you have it sitting in a garage. Now let me re-ask the question. Do you think that having $25,000 worth of crack sealer in your garage that you know you're going to already go through that times 2 this year is a bad investment for your business, or should you be buying in bulk? Raise your hand. Does that make more sense? If you know you're going to go through the material, should you be buying in bulk ahead of time rather than one pallet at a time where your shipping costs and or your time to go back and forth from the plant to pick up? Guys, please, please, please pay attention to not only the cost of the goods that you're buying, but make sure you understand the amount of time that goes into actually managing just the order itself. Like, just to be clear, you can place an order for 10 pallets or 20 pallets of crack sealer, and the time it takes to place that order will take sometimes less time than actually placing one pallet of crack sealer order. Plus, you have to go to the plant or distribution location and you have to pick up the pallets. So you have to drive back and forth. Raise your hand if you believe that time on the road with a performance asset is a cost. Cool. Please make sure that you're not spending your time with performance assets going back and forth to locations if you have the cash to be able to buy stuff in more bulk where you can leverage bulk pricing and reduce the amount of time that you spend on the road with a performance asset. Very important. I've heard of guys closing $200,000 seal coat jobs, right? Like 500,000 square feet. They go and close a 200,000 square foot job. And you know what they do? They drive 45 minutes each way to go fill up their 700-gallon seal coat rig. And I'm standing there with my hands on my head going, I can't even imagine what that would be like to seal coat 500,000 square feet with a 700-gallon rig and having to drive an hour and a half round trip, plus the time to pick up the material, fuel, and having your performance asset on the road versus just getting a spot tanker delivered with 4,350 gallons right to the job site and just filling right there on the spot. Does that make sense, guys? Please make sure that you understand exactly what it is that you're getting into before you actually get into it. So right now with the season that's upcoming, I think that there's some things that we need to be considering right now. First and foremost is, what are we thinking about as it relates to the cost of the materials that we are acquiring in order to get our season kicked off? What are we thinking about? Just put some thinking time on the board. What are we doing? If we feel like we're going to go through 4 or 6 pallets of crack sealer over the next 3 or 4 months, and you can work with a company to get you the material on those 4 to 6 pallets and with some terms, then you don't have as much risk that's involved with your business because you've spread it over time. Have you guys ever heard of something that's called take now, pay later? Raise your hand if you've heard of take now, pay later. Usually doesn't happen until you've built some rapport with a company, generally speaking, but that's the kind of stuff that you guys want to think about as you're starting to procure your materials for this season. Another thing that you want to make sure of is that you understand your job costs, right? Like before you actually start a job, how cool would it be to actually know what the true costs of a job would be within a very small variance range? Like how cool would that be if you knew that before you even quoted it? Would that be cool? Honestly, raise your hand if that would be cool. If you actually knew that what you were quoting was something that was not just a feel good, but something that actually was something priced around what your costs were, then maybe what we'd be able to do is after we finish the job, we're able to look at what we assumed was going to be the costs associated with the project. We're now able to actually look at the real costs, and we're able to say, honey, but going for dinner, I almost got within a 3% variance of what I assumed. And guess what? That 3%, we ended up with more than 3% profit on the job because we actually were really conservative on the way that we did this model. We're going to dinner. Let's go. We all know that dinner's not cheap anymore, right? You can't go to dinner for less than a couple $100 at a good place anymore, right? Realistically. Well, let's figure out how to have more dinners that you guys can have because you're doing the right math up front to make sure that the jobs are getting priced. I want Jacob to understand, Kevin, that when Jacob goes to go and price 100,000 square foot seal coat job that he's going to end up doing, I want to make sure that Jacob's not getting into something where he's going to lose his shirt. I want him to get rich off these jobs, not just go into them and then hope that everything turns out okay. Skylar, I know you have a lot to say about this. You're biting your tongue right now.
Where do you want me to start?
I mean, talk about what it used to be back when you first started to, the stuff that you're learning now.
Exactly. So what it used to be and what it still is, I would probably say for a majority of you guys, because all you got to do is go into one single asphalt seal coating group or anything of that and say, what are you guys charging? And every single person will put a price per square foot, a price per lineal foot, crack seals, line paint, seal coat. And that is the way I operated for quite a long time. And I didn't understand what that meant. I just knew it covered the bills and there was money, right? Until you decide to add a lot of fuel to the fire and grow at a fast rate, and you can outpace what that square footage charge actually is. And you really, really need to understand what those things are and where the money is and what the unrecognized costs are, just like Judd is talking about these performance assets, right? If a spot tanker is going to cost you X amount of dollars in freight, but every hour you're running that performance asset, it's adding more value than what the freight charge is for the amount of gallons broken down over the time. So if it's, whatever, 10 round trips at an hour a piece, and you have 10 hours, and that performance asset for me, is upwards of like $700 an hour that it can produce me. We're at like 1,200 square foot. So if that freight cost versus that, like that first hour of that asset still running will make you more than the freight to deliver it. And those are the things you need to understand. And then you need to really understand unrecognized costs. And the thing is, I have a great win to share too. I'm pumped up. I just shared it on social. So I'm on site today, and I have a client of mine, Burdon, down in Texas, and he texted me. He's like, "Hey, bro, we got some news. And I was like, "Call me." So I FaceTime him, and I'm like, "So what's up?" And he's like, "Bro, we got the job." And so let me tell you this: 20-year-old kid, never laid a stripe in his life. His first job is 12 Chick-fil-A's. He got the whole account because we worked together, and I helped him build the proposal. And he's like, "Well, how much a lineal foot?" And I was like, whoa, pump the brakes right there. There is no lineal foot. And he's like, "Yeah, but the paint's 150 and I bought the striper." And I was like, "Okay, and you're going to hook your $45,000 truck up?" And he's like, "Well, I don't strictly use that for the business." But I said, "You need a replacement cost on that." And he's like, "And I bought stencils and this and this." And I said, "Okay, so where is that? And what is the life cycle of those things? And what is the depreciation value of those things? And how do you replace them?" And now we can start understanding how we can begin to price your first job. So we went through all of the items he had currently, and his overhead is amazing. It was like $170, I think, a day divided into his working days. For me, it's thousands of dollars. It's like $3,000 a day. But it was one thing that we needed to factor back in. And then we also talked about, and he was like, "Okay, so we broke down the unrecognized cost and the recognized cost." And he was like, "What do we do? Just add 30%. And I was like, "No, you need to factor in what it would cost to pay yourself to do the job. Because if you want to grow and scale and hire someone to do this, you can't cut yourself out of it," which is what majority of business owners do. They don't take a recognized salary in the business, which depletes enterprise value because it's unrecognized, because that owner still needs to get paid to own and operate the business. So we need to put you in as an employee at $35 an hour, because that's how you're going to land the next person to take your spot, so you can do more and build that back in. And then we add profit to the job and we can start to do these. But yeah, it was such a huge win. So you're talking, 25 grand of jobs off of some coaching sessions, recession resistant business, fast food style business, 20K plus for his first job, professional proposal, and priced right, because I was there with the numbers. So yeah, it was awesome.
Did that proposal come out of the AK Dash, or did they home make it?
Yep, we did it together on Dash. Yep.
Mr. Hood, of course it came out of AK Dash.
AK with me.
AK with you. I like that. That's awesome, man. That's great. Rob's got his thumb up as well. Good to hear your voice, brother.
Dude, it's been awesome. It was funny. I was on site too, and I definitely filmed it, and I messed it up, and I had to have my guy, I was like, "Yo, stop crack sealing right now." I was like, "Get over here and film this." I was like, "We need to get this energy fresh off the pot." I think he's actually right there. He is. Look, he just popped up. He said, "True story." He's on here. I invited my guys on today too. So
that's beautiful, man. I love that. That's great. Welcome, guys. That's great, man. Well, listen, I love hearing that. And here's the other thing too, team, like what Skylar just said right there, to take that all and build a spreadsheet from it and to lay that all out, like that can be daunting. Don't feel overwhelmed by that. It's normal to be like, "Holy crap, that was a lot that just got unloaded on me." But what we're getting at here is that if we can open up your peripheral vision just a little bit to understand that a little bit more, and you can connect with people like Skylar or whoever else that can help you to understand those details more and give you the solution that you need to understand your true underlying costs associated with your business, then I think that you're in a much better spot, because I'll tell you that the majority of people, and when I say the majority of people in our industry, I'm generalizing this, They don't have a bleeping clue as to what we're talking about right there.
I see it in businesses that are hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. I mean, for me, I ran that way, upwards to $1 million. You know what I mean? Like, really, like $750,000 I was running that way. And I was just like, well, it's working, I guess. You know, there's money here. But it was horrible. And let me tell you what, the stress that unloads when you start to really understand underlying costs, and it's just like, you walk your own yellow brick road, really. Like, because I look at the job and I say, do I want this? Does it make sense? And if it doesn't make sense at this number, I'm either just not going to take it or I'm going to up it. And it's done. There is no, oh, well, did I get it? And I sit there and I stress about 900 jobs. I don't care. I only care about the jobs that are profitable.
110%. Remember this, write this down. Vanity, write this down on a bumper sticker. You ready? Bumper sticker, here it is. Revenue is vanity. Cash is king. Or queen, whatever we want to say, right? Revenue is vanity. Cash is king. Straight up. I don't want you guys to have a intensely rich revenue. I want you guys to wrap your year up and be like, I've got 3 months runway to protect my business for cash, 3 months full operating, protected, and I've got this fat ass dividend that I'm cutting myself from the company, or I'm going to run it back into my company for future investment. I want you guys to be really excited about, generating revenue is a very dangerous thing if you don't understand your cash. Because you start buying based upon revenue, you start investing, you think you're investing, but you're buying debt a lot of the time. Do you understand that? Does everybody get that, right? Like you're generating a bunch of revenue, you have this revenue coming in, you have 30-day terms on some supplies here and there and payables, and all of a sudden your cash is like, man, I've got a bunch of money in my bank, I'm going to go invest and buy all this stuff, and you hit the end of the season when all your bills are coming due and the tax man, and guess what happens? You have nothing left. You're over leveraged for short-term gains. Don't do it. Be prepped, be ready. There's a storm out there right now, everyone, too, right? Like there's a storm out there. We've got, as you guys know, at the roundup, there's lightning bolts flying around right now. There is an opportunity for you guys to really embrace the stuff that we're saying right here and at the roundup and truly optimize your business, because there is blood in the water. And I mean that in the most positive sense ever. You have people that have no clue about this stuff. I wish that they did. I wish there was 300 or 400 people live here right now that we could talk to about this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, they're not here. Guess who's here? Raise your hand if you're here right now. It's you guys that are going to be winning. If you follow the processes and you apply the systems and you get out there and you have that grit and you're going to go and hustle, you're going to do really, really, really well. Use it, leverage it. It's special stuff. By the way, Matthias, I got to give Matthias a huge shout out over here. Matthias also got a call this week from somebody that was having, actually, you tell the story. Tell the story. This is just awesome, guys. This is the power of the network. Remember, right? Email addresses and names on your profile. Please add them. It's important.
So one of our guys, he calls me up. He goes, dude, I got this job in Florida near Orlando, and I need somebody to help me do the rest of this job. I had to fire my contractor because there was some issues with anyway. I said, okay, I'll do my best. So ended up finding somebody down there, linked them up. They got the job done in the time frame. They got paid. The contractor we referred got paid, and it was a win-win for everybody. He was just jacked. He was just hyped, ecstatic. All of them were just good to go. So it was a really good win for sure.
So that's just something that I think you guys should think about just as it relates to this referral type stuff and networking community. Who here is already in the asphalt maintenance business? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're already in the asphalt maintenance business. Who here is planning on starting a business? Looking to start a business? I love that. Cool. Who here is in the pavement asset management business? I love that. Pavement asset management business, right? Pam, pavement asset management business. We talk about this often. Who here believes that when you're providing asphalt maintenance and asphalt repair services, who here believes that you might be asked about paving work? Who here believes that you might be asked about concrete work? Who here believes that you might be asked about roofing work? Who here believes that you're going to be asked about painting? Who here pressure washing? The list goes on. What I'm asking you guys to do now is build the relationships with your ideal performance partners that you can do a deal with, where you can send that referral over, make the connection, and ultimately make a percentage off the top line of that deal. Does that make sense?
Judd, can I add a little incentive to that?
Rock and roll.
I've been working with one of the hotels chains in the area, and I did a proposal for them. It turned out to be a paving job that I should hear back from in a week or two, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get it. I subbed it out to one of the best paving crews around here that I know of. I partnered with them. They're fantastic people. It's a $260,000 job, and basically a proposal and a few phone calls, and I'm set to make about 20,000 off of that. So there you go. Like it's so easy to do if you find the right people to do it. It's there, and don't neglect that there's people around you, right? And don't ever look at the people around you as your competition. Look at them as your partners or potential partners, because they are gold to you. And you have people around you that think you're the competition. Just stay away from them and find somebody else, or convince them that you can work together, right? It's a win-win for everybody, because everybody's at different stages of their game, of their business, right? And everyone's growing at different rates, and you can utilize them, because I'm sure they're going to have different services than what you will have, especially when you're starting out, right? And you have that 10, 15, 20% off the top of the line for a few phone calls. And that helps you grow your business and buy more, reinvest it into new equipment and whatever you need to do with it, right? Build those people, get on social media, get on Instagram, get on Facebook, search out these people, like all their content. Once you like it, start conversation with them, and then it just grows from there, right?
Everybody, that right there, like, write that down straight up. Like, if you guys are planning on getting into the industry, if you're already in the industry, what Rob just said right there is something that works. It works all the time, and it's unfortunately underutilized quite a bit. You know what paving companies generally will tell you or try to work with you as a deal? Send us business and we'll send you business. That's what paving companies do with you guys, right? Do you know why? Any ideas? You send us some business, we'll send you some business. Guess what the paving average job size of that paving contract is compared to your average job on the asphalt maintenance size? The bottom line is you should be paid for the referrals that you give to companies, period. You put hard work and energy into building your brand and reputation. You have a client that knows, likes, and trusts you. That took work. When you go and hand that lead over to another company that you're working with as a performance partner, that company should see the value in that. And if they don't, they might not be the right partner for you. Stephanie.
It's exactly like you said. I took the time to call, I called them a player, not a competitor, but a player in a game. And I called him and I said, well, listen, I'm starting, I'm going to be, doing small jobs probably next summer. And I said, I'd like to know if you're interested in, just talking about the business around. And the first thing he said was like, this is not how we work in this business normally. And I said, well, here I come. Let's see if we could do some partnership. And then he said, you know what? He's like, in the end, it's a great thing. He's like, there might be a few jobs that I will not be able to do this summer because I got a huge contract. And he's like, I'm going to be more than welcome to call you and see if you're interested in doing it. So, I mean, it could work. We never know, right?
Remind me where you're located exactly, Stephanie?
I am in Montreal in Canada. Yeah, in Quebec. I'm near Sebastien. I think there's another player here that is here, so it's nice.
Where in Montreal though?
Yeah, in the South Shore, Longueuil. You know.
Longueuil, yeah. So yeah, I used to seal coat. I used to sell door to door in Longueuil.
Oh, that's cool. As you know,
Yeah. Back in the day. So I don't know if Imperma Seal still exists or if you have Montreal Sealant, Sealant Montreal, but at the end of the day, these were some big players back in the day. But you're bang on, right? Like listen, it's better to make friends with your competition than to have enemies with competition, right? Like, and that's one thing I will say is never, ever, ever bash your competition. Never speak about your competitors as being not the right company to work with or any of that. Build your tower, build your pride. When you don't, if you prevent yourself from speaking bad about other companies, it builds your rapport and communication, right? You can imagine what it would be like on the round table if I was speaking about our competition. Not that we have any, but I'm kidding. But at the end of the day, it's like that. It doesn't give any traction. There's no real meat there. You're much better to make friends, get together, enjoy each other's businesses, and grow the industry, make it more attractive for everyone. Stephanie, thanks for that. And Rob, brilliant advice, man. And everybody should have that short list of their performance partners that they've gone out and worked with. And how do you do that, right? A lot of people say, well, how do you do that? I know that John here from Palladian Pavement knows how to do it. But certainly good to see you, John. I'll tell you this, like, you know how you build prospect lists for your leads, for potential opportunities for your business? Everybody just nod, pretend that you know what I said. Yes, all right, cool. All right, you know how you build prospect lists as opportunities for your business, right? You're going to go out and do pavement assessments. You're going to go do quotes for, you're going to close those deals. You're going to make millions off of. Yes, okay, cool. That prospect list that you build relating to customers is one. But why not have a prospect list for partners that could really be potential opportunities for you to develop your relationships with? Set up your dates with those people. Look at Google My Business, look at their reviews, go on social media, check Better Business Bureau, look at their website, look at their branding. Is that a company that aligns with your core values? Yes or no? If yes, then set up a meeting and go and have a chat with them. If it's not the right fit, it's not the right fit. You never want to refer another company that's not going to be doing work at your level, if not better than what it is that you do. And by the way, when you start to do this with some bigger companies and you start to stay connected with those bigger companies, those companies, generally like paving companies, they really, really love the opportunity to buy other companies that are affiliated with them that have done a really good job. So if you're doing V equals R over predictive income and you actually do the building of your enterprise value and you stay close with the bigger guys, I'm not saying to go dance with a whale. I'm saying go and find a company that does a really good job in your market that is established, and know that that's an opportunity for you guys down the road as well. So that's some good meat. Let's open it up to questions. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, hey, Judd, it's Alex.
Mr. Corey, how the heck are you, man?
I'm good. It's raining out here. I'm driving in the rain, so I'm not on camera, so I apologize. But I was just wrapping up some striping this morning, and it started raining on my my nice handicap stalls right at the end. So we covered them in some plastic, and I hope they don't bleed out. But I don't know if anyone's tried to line stripe in the rain. It's not a good idea. I just wanted to share like a meeting I had yesterday. This kind of falls right in with what we're talking about in partnerships.
By the way, just to interrupt you quickly, we're all staring at you right now, speaking to everybody at the AK Roundup. So just to make you blush a little bit, we can see your backside, buddy.
My back. Oh, really?
No,
I don't know. I can't.
We're looking. No, you're at the podium and you're doing your presentation, and everybody in the roundup in the room. So it's a really good snapshot. You're actually the cover photo on AK on Facebook right now. That's so much fun.
Lovely. Yeah, I had a meeting out at this truck yard I'm bidding on. It's a $1.8 million project, and there's no way I could tackle this thing myself. But I had strategized with a bunch of partners I have. Went out there with the A team. I had a guy who does all my undergrounds, grading, and does everything with GPS and satellites, and sets up a total station and goes out and maps out the whole property. It's a 240,000 square foot paving job with about 10,000 yards of import of dirt, and we got to build up this whole. It's like in a farmland area in Sacramento, so it's all like marshlands. They have like rice paddies, so we got to do a lot of groundwork and earth moving. But I had the landscaping team out there, electrical company, electricians to hook up to their main panels and put up 27 light standards. I had my paver guy out there and my underground guy showed up as a winning team, all of us together. And you could say like, yeah, we're kind of competitors, some of us. Tony was out there with me as my paver, and Mike was out there. He does all the undergrounds. There's a lot of DIs to put in and all of the piping and stuff for moving all the water on the property. But anyway, when you work enough on some of these bigger jobs, you can learn so much from other people. And Mike, who partnered with me on a project last summer, we did a $750,000 project. He's just a wealth of knowledge. And so, when you surround yourself with people that know a lot more than you do, it helps you grow much quicker and sound more knowledgeable to your clients when you're going out pitching deals. So I just wanted to throw that out there. It was a pretty cool meeting, and it's nice to show up with like five different companies all coming together onto one project. And the owner of the property was pretty impressed. So hopefully we land this job, but we're out there doing some bidding work yesterday.
Everyone, by the way, that's Alex Coring, Coach Alex Coring, who for people at the Roundup, you would have met him and you would have seen his proposal presentation that was pretty badass. I'm sure it got a lot of wheels spinning. He's out in California and has grown the heck out of his business. Alex, congrats, man. And I know that's just, it must be so cool to be able to work with, performance partners and an A team to really go after these $1 million deals, right? And so you start looking at, $2.5 million with your company, you start looking at that and you start to say, well, you can see it doesn't take much to really get to 5 million or 6 million or 10 million when you have the right team together to be able to not only run the front end of that, but also the back of house actually to make that happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's some of these bigger projects, it's like you just take something small and then you just scale it up. So if you can understand the building blocks that go into putting together a small parking lot, you can do a bigger one, and then you could do, an Amazon center or something like that and do 1 million square foot of paving. It's just the same building blocks scaled up to a bigger size. So, understanding things on a small level and getting a grasp of the concepts and the pieces that come into play, and then you just keep scaling it up from there. The scary thing is if something goes wrong, and you got to like warranty some work or something, and you mess up, you got like a $300,000 fix. That gets to be kind of a scary situation. So you want to make sure that you've nailed it on a small scale before you get to a bigger scale. But outside of that, it's a lot of fun putting those things together.
I'd like to just give you a round of applause. Everyone give Alex, honestly, a round of applause because that's badass right there. That's some incredible stuff, man. You must be so proud. And it's interesting, right? As you're growing, Alex, and you're looking in the mirror and you kind of give yourself a grin and it's like, all right, let's keep going here. Right.
Yeah.
And so,
yeah. Well,
good
yeah,
for you,
if you have good marketing, these things just come to you. And so, obviously you're gonna have to put together a sales team and go out and hunt for these things, but a lot of times they kind of fall in your lap. So it's nice to be in the ready position when these things do come by. And I feel like I'm finally in that position. So it's nice. It's nice to be there.
We gonna close some more of those banks this year?
Walking 6 of them next week.
I love it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
That came from marketing too. All right. Well, let's rock on with John here. John, what's happening? Your hand is up. Palladium pavement in the house. Let's go.
Hey, how are you? The last
Couldn't
time
be
I was
better.
on here, you congratulated me for a win for Dom. But since the past 2 weeks, I got 4 proposals coming for myself.
What?
Yep.
Tell us about it. What do you, hold on. Hold on. There was no energy in that. Give me some energy. What happened there?
Got 4 proposals to work on for next week.
So hold on. Let me understand this. You mean it actually works?
It works.
No shit.
The people you know and the people that know your people, those first 2 lines, I got 4 proposals.
Brother, I'm so stoked to hear that, John, man.
Yeah, a 40-spot parking lot fresh after they paved this summer. 100,000 square foot lot with around 200 double line spots. That's a temporary. They're ripping up the lot in a couple of years. I went into a parking lot. The guy was surprised. He's like, "You're a dying breed coming looking for work." He owns 6 parking lots locally. He said call him back in the spring, and 10 more throughout the area, throughout the local area. An apartment building with a front lot. I'm not sure if they have an underground garage. I'm going to see that tomorrow. And next to my 100,000 square foot, I went to a supermarket, and they want potholes filled immediately. So they're pretty deep, and hopefully that'll turn into something bigger long term.
Dude, I want to give you a trophy right now. I mean, when did you form your company?
When I launched 2.5 weeks or so ago.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, look at you. A few coaching sessions and away you go, bud.
Yep.
How did you get these quotes? Is this prospect and cold calling? Is that what it is?
Going out myself,
Yeah.
calling people I know, and people that friends of people that I know.
So you actually are working the prospect, people that you know, people that your people know, and then cold call. You're actually working that process that we teach.
Correct. Works.
Bro, you know what, man? I love that. That makes my heart sing, man. Every time I hear that, like, you know, what you guys are teaching actually works, and we're growing. And it's like, for me, that's huge. And not to say that our way is the right way, but shit, you might as well have one way that you give it a good shot and really give it your best go. And if it works, keep going and optimize it. And then come share the optimization over here of what you're able to fine tune and tweak, and share that with others so that we can all win more. John, I'm stoked for you, man. High five, bro. Amazing. Keep the pressure on, pedal to the metal. Don't slow down. It's like, you know, NBA Jam. You remember that video game back in the day, NBA Jam? Do you guys remember that? It's an old Nintendo game, I think, or was it a PlayStation? I can't remember. That was so long ago. But NBA Jam, you had like Michael Jordan. He's on fire, and the basketball would be on fire, and you could throw it. Do you guys remember that? Raise your hand if you honestly remember NBA Jam. All right. John's on fire. Keep that basketball on fire, brother. Let's keep it going. Pedals to the metal, man. Matt, what's happening, brother?
Hey, what's happening? Hey,
I
first
feel
of
like
all,
we're in
thanks.
different spots in the world now.
Yeah, I'm out west. We're supposed to be getting hit with a big storm this next day, snow, but it was sunny and shiny. We were 55 degrees today, and I got calls for people wanting seal coat bids and everything. So I just have to remind them, hey, we still got 3 more months of snow and winter. So but what I was going to say is thanks for the roundup. That was awesome. In addition to the roundup, I went to the MPE, and walking around MPE, it was a little bit less attended than other events, but I was still handing my card out to those vendors. There's companies there that source subcontractors. Somehow they've got their network of commercial businesses. So Monday, I got back Sunday, or let's see, I got back Friday. Monday, I get a call from a one of those vendors. He has a Taco Bell here that needed some asphalt repair done, some infrared, and that's, I was able to get him pricing on that, just waiting for confirmation, for that to go through. So I just throwing that out there as keeping an eye open for network opportunities, whether it's within this group or within home builder associations, BNI groups, or city council meetings, or whatever you do. Just keep an open mind for business. So anyway, that was my 2 cents.
It's such a valuable thing that you just shared right there. Raise your hand honestly if you're a shy type of person. All right. Even if you're shy, go make friends out there, because I'm telling you, these business owners, these storage facilities, these places, right? Like, there's all kinds of opportunities, sports clubs, these golf courses, right? I know, Rob, you're a member of a golf course, right? And I can only imagine the networking that takes place through a golf club like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I wouldn't say that's the reason I do, but it's definitely in the back of my mind, anything I do, whether it's a hockey league I play in, curling, golf, baseball leagues. There are so many people all around you. And, for a lot of the people on here that might be younger, 20 something or so, that's your perfect avenue to people that own those businesses that might be 30, 40, 50, 60. Right? Because let's face it, for me at 59, reaching out to people of my own age, it's relatively easy to get work. But if you're 20, 23, 24, and you're reaching out to your friends, you're not getting work from them. So you have to find people that are older, right, in places that they're located and the things that they like to do in order to find that work. It's easy. People come up to you all the time, right? Especially if you're very well branded and they see your stuff all the time, right? So yeah, absolutely.
Kevin, I know you had your hand up, brother. Come on in. And then Michael, we got you right after Kevin here.
Yeah, Jacob's quiet. I know he's not here, but he got the same thing. He got he gave his cards. He talked to some of the people there that are nationwide distributors for CVS's. And we got back from Tampa, I think on Monday. No, I forgot when. Probably Thursday. No, he was Saturday. But anyways, he got a call, I think on Saturday, no, Friday. He got a call for a Target box store in our area for him to go look at for what he does.
Awesome.
And on top of that, real quick, I just want to say you have to learn to own your business. And what I mean is I got mad at my son the week before we went to Tampa. He thought I was going to contact a large church and remind the guy where we stand. I forgot. He didn't contact him. And I threw my phone and I'm like, you need to learn to take ownership. You can't trust me. I'm running my own business at the same time. Anyways, Jacob contacted the church on Monday to recontact because there was a loop in the miss hole. The whole thing is they want to do the whole contract for $75,000.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is you can't, even though you have salesmen, you have people working for you, all reality, we have to, at the bottom line, it falls back on us to make sure make sure the calls are being made.
I couldn't agree more. And, I'm going to show you guys something here. I just need to make sure there's no confidentiality issues on this screenshot, but let's see here. I think that this is going to be cool if I do this. Can you guys see that? Can you see that or no?
Oh yeah, $54,867.
Yeah. This quote was handed out on December 12th, 2023 by one of our coaching clients that did the 20-week coaching program. I'm just going to be straight. And I'm going to say this the best way that I can. He doesn't even own a shovel. He doesn't do the work. He just has performing partners that do it. So what this guy does, him and his sales team do nothing other than go and meet property management companies, go to churches, they go to storage facilities, and they start speaking to accounts that have multiple properties underneath that. For you guys that attended the roundup, you remember the 5-step close with the pavement assessments and quotes. This is a numbers game. Straight up. This deal was given, this quote was given on December 12th. It closed today, January 31st. Let me ask you a question. How many follow-ups do you think it took to get this closed over a month and a half later? Take a guess. 5? Raise your hand if you think it was 5 follow-ups. Raise your hand if you think it was 5 follow-ups. Raise your hand if you think it was more than 5 follow-ups. Raise your hand if you think it was more than 10 follow-ups. 14 follow-ups in 6 weeks. Now, people may ask, well, when you say follow-up, what do you mean follow-up? See, in today's market with follow-ups in the industry that we're in, there's a 12 follow-up system that generally is there's 12 touch points that you have to do in order to close a deal. And I'm not saying that it's 12 phone calls. I'm not saying that it's 12 site visits. I'm not saying that it's 12 social media touch points. I'm not saying that it's 12 text messages. I'm not saying that it's 12 connections on different social media platforms with that potential client. I'm saying it's a mix of it all. You need to create a drum beat. Doom, 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 doom. From the time that you deliver that pavement assessment or quote, drum beat, drum beat, drum beat. Not intrusive, not salesy, not sleazy, not salesman. But somebody that actually genuinely cares about keeping their parking lot safe, long lasting, and looking great. Just make friends with them. Be real with them. Hey, I was thinking about you today. Figured I'd send you the selfie video. I was just out on another parking lot similar to yours. It reminded me of you when we had that conversation, and I figured I'd send you a big shout out this morning while I'm here passing by. I hope you're doing great. Let me know if you have any questions here for you. Is there any other? So great, Jason. Thank you so very much for the opportunity. I'm just touching base with you because I know that you're going to go back and speak with other people. Is there anything that I can do to help you silver platter that to make sure that they get the information they need to make a decision with you? Right? These kind of things, how often do you think Victor's on a call doing a follow-up, closing a deal right now? You see that? Victor's closing deals right now on here. I love that. So my point here is, majority of people in our industry team do not even pick up their phone when a lead calls them. Do you think that they're really doing that rigor and follow-up after you actually deliver a quote? I can guarantee this. I can't bet my left arm because I wouldn't be able to take care of my family the way that I do. But what I can do is say that I'm pretty sure I could do this. If you created a list of 10 companies in your area within a 500-mile radius, randomly, and you called all 10 of those companies, I can bet my boots that you'll have less than half of them that will answer the phone. And the less than half that answer the phone will generally be pissed off about life and unhappy because that's just unfortunately the culture they haven't learned about. And you guys give it a try. They don't sound good on the phone. And the second thing is they do zero as it relates to profiling and qualifying you on the phone because they have no understanding of what the closer framework is, how to actually deal with profiling a client. Instead, what they're saying is, yeah, I'll get your information. We'll have somebody come out and give you a quote. Is that setting up a salesperson or an owner for success by having somebody on the phone that answers your phone that way? Again, this is the competition that you guys are faced with. Don't be the company that doesn't answer the phone, and don't be the company that has somebody answering the phone that's not trained properly. Make sure that you're investing the time into two of those things, your marketing, but your sales, making sure that you've got your sales piece optimized. Because if you do that and you deliver the pavement assessment, just like we teach, and you deliver the quote, that's professionally done, and you set up your tasks for follow-ups in your calendar and you do that, your conversion rate goes through the roof, just like Alex Corings does. 37% closing rate. The guy that you just heard speaking, Coach Alex. 37% closing rate. Like 37% closing rate. Imagine. That's absolutely unbelievable. And so I ask you guys, what are we doing to sharpen our spears as we're going into the season to make sure the stuff that we taught at the roundup, the stuff that we teach here on the roundtable, the stuff that we email you guys, what are we doing to truly optimize what it is that we're doing so that we can knock 2024 out of the park? Because I can tell you one thing for sure, we're going to knock 2024 out of the park. Like we are for sure. Who here wants to do the same thing straight up? Who wants to knock 2024 out of the park? Put in the work. Use the systems, use the processes. Stephanie, I love that, Colin. That's awesome. Put in the work. Let's do it. Like, check this out, team. Listen to this. We're sending cards to 500 locations that are not just cards. This is a recession-resistant target that we're testing, 500 mailers. And each mailer is going to cost me $14.97 plus another $4 in postage. Multiply that by 500. That's a test. The mailer that we're sending is a card that's a video card. It's heavy, it's tangible, it's like a DVD almost. You open it and all of a sudden there's Judd talking to you about the importance of keeping your parking lot safe, long lasting, and looking great. And that's gonna get sent to the person responsible for the pavement assets, hopefully. Some are gonna go in the garbage, some won't. What are we doing to sharpen our spears? What are we doing to test? What are we doing to try things? And how are we stepping outside of being in that average operating system to step into the upper echelon of what it is that we do? Coach Rob, you're going to close that paving job. And if you don't close that paving job, you're going to close another paving job and another one and another 100,000 square footer. And you're going to do that because you now believe with conviction that all of this works. You're going to do it. You know, you teach it now. You coach it to people.
Absolutely.
Skylar knows, right? Skylar knows that. John, you now know it. You just got coached. You're now going to do 5 quotes. Kevin, I remember when you and Jacob were just starting out and your son, you're so proud. Like I'm watching him. I watched Matt do it. I watched Rodney Hilton come down to the roundup in Florida. Rodney is standing there. He's like, man, it's crazy. Did you know that 3 years ago to the day of that roundup, he bought his very first spray system from AK. Now he's a $1 million company, has paving crews. Like this stuff works, team. Stick close to it. Stay close to the inside of the vault. Stay close to your coaches. Stay close to the YouTube stuff that's pouring out. Stay close to industry experts and surround yourself with winners. And you guys will all do amazing stuff. I'm honored and it's a privilege to be here with all of you guys and doing this and being on this mission together. I cannot wait to see what you guys unfold throughout the year. Some of you will remain on here. Some of you won't. But I wish one thing for all of you, that you guys are all super successful no matter what you do. I'd love to be a part of that. I'd love to be a part of that journey through this year. I'm super excited for what's all ahead. We are up for time, everyone. I know that that whizzed by. Can you believe that was 1 hour that just went? Anybody get 1 or 2 things? One thing? Anybody take one thing away tonight? Nobody took a thing? Come on, one thing? I took one thing away. I took one thing away. I'll tell you in a minute. Victor, you going for one word close, buddy?
Yeah, I can do that.
You close
wow. I have more to say, but wow. While you were talking about what you're talking about, I received a call and I got that same conversation with someone who manages, he's in the construction side and they manage hundreds of apartment complexes. So he's going to go upstairs tomorrow and talk to the management team. And he's got 20 of my cards. And he said to me, if you know anybody who needs a roof done, you let us know. We have roofers. I said, absolutely.
Network.
Network.
Yep. Let's build it. We're in a really cool industry. Really, really, really cool industry, everyone. Do you guys raise your hand if you remember Lee Lois's presentation at the Roundup in Tampa? The one where he was showing the cost of capital and the way that the economy was basically going to shit in 2008 and 9. Do you remember what that graph looked like, Michael? You remember what that graph looked like, Michael? Remember that? That graph went like right down into that sluggish hole. Do you remember what the asphalt maintenance graph, the linear graph looked like compared to what things looked like from an economic perspective? Do you guys remember that?
Yeah, continue to climb.
Yeah. If you overlaid both of them, asphalt maintenance and repairs, our industry team has been on a graph that's upwards like this nonstop. And through dips and through the recession, and even today, we're not seeing any change. We're seeing that we're steady and strong. So man, are we ever fortunate to be in this industry? Time for optimization, time to crush it. Jacob, great hat. By the way, anybody want an Asphalt Kingdom hat? Raise your hand if you want one. If you already have one, don't get another one. If you don't have one, I'll send you another one. Yeah? All right, guys, write this down. Write this down. This is the promo code. If you already have a hat, don't get another hat. Come on. Get 3. The promo code. You ready for this? April@asphaltkingdom.com. Send an email with your address and tell her in that email, in the subject line must be "You're the best, April." And then in the body copy, you have to put "Thank you for all that you do for Asphalt Kingdom." And then say, "Judd asked that I give you my address as well to send us an Asphalt Kingdom hat," and we'll send you a hat. And April will love that. She's incredible. She is my executive assistant, and she makes my life so much better. I'm able to actually breathe more now, so it's great. April's amazing. Cool. All right. Thank you, everyone. Let's go through one word close, and then let's take off and go and build ourselves and continue to build our businesses. Let's do this thing. Let's start with you, Michael, over, actually, you know what? Let me start in the top left. Sorry. Victor, you're already up. Let's go.
I believe the word was wow.
Perfect. Great. I love it. Billy, you're up.
Relentless.
You ready to freaking crush this year, bro? Let's go. Michael, one word close.
Relationships.
Coach Rob.
Just gonna say partnerships.
Stephanie.
You just stole my world. Wait, I'm gonna give you a word that I learned at the conference there at the Roundup. The word that I learned was be the market disruptor. So do something different with your business, and when you arrive in your market, and you will distinguish yourself. So disruptor is my word.
You'll love this, Stephanie. I'm going to just tell you, like, I was on with one of the biggest suppliers in North America for materials, the guy responsible for it. And he said, you know, AK's been a real market disruptor, eh? I said, yeah, isn't it great? Isn't it awesome? He's like, man, you know, a lot of people don't like you guys. And I'm like, well, why is it that they don't like us? And he says, well, because you guys are taking a lot of the distributors' orders. And I said, well, we help them grow the hell out of their businesses. We're going to get some of their orders. But at the end of the day, we have to stay true to making sure that we serve our customers to the best of our ability. So if you believe, Stephanie, truly in serving your customers at the highest possible level and creating that acronym, CARE, create a remarkable experience, if you believe in that, Don't ever let anybody tell you that you are not doing something right, or having somebody to try to talk you down from building what it is that you believe in. Because this is what I believed in 20 years ago, and here we are crushing it, and you guys are crushing it. So don't let anybody ever burn down your buildings. Build it and disrupt. Chad, one word close. We cannot hear you. You are muted. All right, let's go. John, you're up.
I'm gonna give you a few. There's a method to the madness.
Say it again.
There's a method to the madness.
Yes, there is. There sure is. Matt, one word close.
Network.
Couldn't agree more. Evan.
FTDP, baby.
I love that. Follow the dang process. Let's go. Dommy, Coach Dom. Are you in Florida right now, or are you up in Long Island?
No, we're in New York. We're in New York. Gotta be proactive, guys. Proactive.
Let's go. Kevin, one word close.
ROP, risk over productive.
Let's go. Let's go. Jacob.
Well, the U.S. environmental.
Jacob,
It's
one word
excellent.
close.
Million and
Can you hear me?
and some seed in the ground soil.
I can hear somebody's TV. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. Jacob, one word close.
Excellence. That's my one word. Excellence.
I love that. Mike, what's happening, man? One word close, brother. Mark, let's roll. One word close. Partners. Right on. My one word close is 4:30 a.m. See you guys all at 4:30 a.m. when that alarm clock rings. Have a great rest of your evening. Let's keep sharpening our spears. We'll see you guys next week, sorry. Same time, same place, right here on the AK Roundtable. Let's crush it.